Another tragic student suicide has happened in Kota. A NEET aspirant, Harshraj Shankar from Bihar, ended his life by hanging himself in the Jawahar Nagar area. He was preparing for the medical entrance exam at a private coaching institute. Police have sent the body for post-mortem. It's a developing story. We'll continue to bring you the details with regards to that. But as of now, we have only this much detail that this boy was a NEET aspirant. His name was Harshraj Shankar. He was from the state of Bihar. He unfortunately ended his life by hanging himself in the Jawahar Nagar area.
आज दिन में करीबन 12:30-1 बजे के आसपास सूचना मिली। हॉस्टल मालिक ने सूचना दी कि एक बच्चा अंदर से कमरा गेट बंद कर रखा है और तो सूचना पर पुलिस जाब्ता पहुंचा। गेट तोड़ के देखा तो बच्चे ने हैंगिंग कर रखी थी। बॉडी को उतराया और बोर्ड में शिफ्ट कराया। परिजनों को सूचित कर दिया गया है। परिजन आने पर अग्रिम कार्रवाई की जाएगी। बच्चा बिहार नागरिक करने वाला था।
कौन सी कोचिंग की तैयारी कर रहा था?
नीट की तैयारी कर रहा था बच्चा।
सर एंटी हैंगिंग डिवाइस नहीं थे क्या पंखे में?
एंटी हैंगिंग डिवाइस थे, अन्य चीज से लटक के उसने सुसाइड।
Who aspire to get into higher education, and the number of institution and the seats which should have increased has not increased. So the number remains constant, but the aspirants have increased. But that is one issue. The other issue is that institutions are not aware and not awoken to the demand of hostel. I'm not looking at the institution and their demand and other things that we need to look at as institution, but hostel and providing residential facilities is an entirely different ballgame, which we have never looked into. Because we don't consider hostel and accommodation as part of the educational process. We have not. Look at the global experiences. If you look at how United Kingdom institution manage hostels, they have a proper protocol to identify hostel, to maintain discipline and also behavior. As you get into a hostel or a student accommodation, you are first provided a counseling, how you have to behave, how you have to live, what are the protocols, and they are very strictly followed. We don't have any such thing. Anybody is made the warden of a hostel who needs accommodation, and there is accommodation for the hostel warden. That's the truth. One has absolutely no experience of managing hostels. So student accommodation is important. Let me ask you a question. The National Education Policy 2020 recommended that there should be hostels created through the PPP, public-private partnership. We had the policy 5 years back. Have we worked on it? No, because that's not a priority. And I believe I've looked at the committee that constituted by the Supreme Court. I must compliment the Supreme Court for a change. It has people from all different walks of life, including academic and who understand. Although nobody is there who has been managing hostel or who is in charge of a hostel, but that's a different thing. What I believe is most important is in education, most of the decisions are political rather than academic. You don't leave things to academics and the institution. The decisions are political, which makes things very difficult for academic institutions and especially managing hostels.
From the board, students who give board exams to the students who go into college, the age group is 15 to 24. This is the age group when the vulnerability for mental stress, most of our reports say, is maximum. UNICEF has published studies. Our epidemiological studies have shown that the propensity for mental disorders, because this is an age of transition. You know, children are transitioning to become adults. They are navigating into the world. They want to exert their independence. They are learning to live independently, and they are going through physiological changes, psychological changes, and they are also looking out into the world, exploring new things, and it is a time of mental stress for them. And we also have to understand that for students of our times, it is, of course, there is undue pressure academically, but there is also social media. There is a lot of exposure that they are consciously and unconsciously that they are imbibing, and that is also a part of their lives. There is a very rapid cultural shift. A lot of students, they come from various parts of the country. They come into metropolitan cities. They have their own cultural fabric. They are trying to imbibe the metropolitan way of living. So it is not just the studies or the way of finding their footing to find a career. They're also juggling multiple balls in the air, which they also themselves don't understand.